service will begin in just a few minutes.
like to do a prayer circle, please come in the center aisle.
Good morning. She tells me to do stuff all the time. I have no idea what it is.
We don't need that. We just sing the singing.
Well, you're the best. grateful that we have all come here today. I don't know how much of it was choice and how much of it was divine appointment, but either way, we're here today together, and we are moving past the great pause and getting a larger group every time we come, and we're grateful for that, and we know the Spirit is flowing through all of us divinely to co-create a beautiful morning, and which will help us throughout the rest of the week and the rest of our lives. Blessings to everyone. Amen.
Amen. And a woman.
the place in you where the entire universe resides. We honor the place in you of love, light, truth, and peace. We honor the place in you where when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there is only one of us. Namaste. And now let's turn it over to our folks.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to do the Feed the Hungry, so before we begin, if you have $1 or more, even some change you'd like to share in our community, please come forward now and drop it into the basket in the front there.
Joanne, there's a microphone right down there.
That's right. That was I knew I had the thing now. It's on.
It's on.
It's on. It's on.
Okay, thank you.
You have an oratorial voice, not a big mouth.
Oh, okay.
I'm married, so I know how to work things.
I like that. Thank you for that.
Good morning, good to see you. We had fun with a few of you last night. Good to have you back. We're going to do our welcome song. Very simple. And I believe we even have the words thanks to our wonderful audio-visual team. Let's do it, honey. Oh, disco version. Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? That's like forever. Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. Okay, that was dress rehearsal. This is for real. Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. You're not a stranger anymore, here at Unity.
Okay, if you haven't noticed, we have special guests here today. Actually, we want them to stay here every week, but they said no. Okay. So, welcome, Armand and Angelina.
Good to be home.
Okay, now my name is Joanne Laspina. I used to be a board member about 3 weeks ago. But I left the board. I just wanted you people to know that now I'm going to be on the service team instead. So you're going to see a lot more, and you know, I'm getting old, I can't do all these things at once. So I had to choose, you know, where my talents lie. And I like to talk, so this works out really well. Thank you. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is I'm encouraging all of us that we're back from COVID that this has to be a spiritual family. And a lot of us don't know each other. Some are new here, some have been here. Like myself, I'm really back. So I'm encouraging people to wear our name tags. If you have one, it's going to be in the lobby. If you don't, there's a white table in the lobby where you can fill out the form and make a name tag so that when you come, that you can wear it. And if you see somebody with, you don't know, it's time to say hello. We need everybody becoming a family again. We're back. COVID's pretty safe now. Okay, so let's do that. Thank you. Okay. So now I like this candle. It's a symbolism of reminding that we are all in divine spirit. Spirit is within us and without and throughout us. And it's in every one of us. So now I would also like to introduce our chaplain, Kevin.
Thank you, Joanne. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here, and I'm going to read the daily word just a little bit. But before I do that, I wanted to reintroduce you to our prayer box. It served us well in the past, up until the pandemic, when a lot of things shut down. And when we started back up, the prayer box didn't start back up with us. So I have it with us, and we're going to start using the prayer box again. And it's really simple. Here's how you do it. In the pew back in front of you, there should be a blue slip of paper, and you just write down your prayer request. And then after the service, you can drop it in the prayer box outside the sanctuary doors to the left. It's where it always resides. And those requests are prayed over for 30 days here at Unity Port Richey. Then they're sent to Silent Unity, where they continue to be prayed for another 30 days. So it's really a great tool that we can use in activating and utilizing our prayer life. So welcome the prayer box back and use it often. The daily word is very appropriate in welcoming the prayer box back. The title of it is In Love and Faith, I Pray With You. I am honored to pray with others, and I'm grateful when others support me in prayer. When praying hearts and minds are joined, the power of prayer is multiplied. My partners in prayer may be in the same room or far away. We may be close friends or strangers. The power of prayer transcends what mere words can express. So we need not even speak the same language. We share the heart's language of love and faith. Although the appearance of sickness, a perception of lack or insufficiency, or interpersonal discord may have prompted us to pray, we set these concerns aside as we say yes to wholeness, abundance, and harmonizing love and blessings in our lives and in every life. And from Matthew 18:19, again, truly I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything that you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay. So now again, we'd like to welcome everybody. And I'm going to start reading a little bit more about our guests. Armand is an award-winning songwriter and an inspirational speaker whose enthusiastic presence inspires us all to love life passionately. Angelina, her heart is open and her angelic voice draws from many languages, as we heard last night. Yes, he's still in love. She was classically trained at Indiana University and was formerly with Epcot Center. Oh, I didn't know that. They are international performers using songs, stories, and humor to remind us now to open our hearts and remember that we are meant to experience heaven on earth. So now I'd like to go to, thank you for being here.
Our pleasure.
So now I'd like to go to our mission, vision, and core values. Remember that unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision is, together, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission, together, Through prayer, service, education, and outreach, we support transformation and heart-centered living. And our core values are spirit-led, learning, loving, joy-filled, and community. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, please know that we are here. And I also invite you to start coming into our service. It's different when you're here than when you're watching it on a computer screen. So reconsider coming to our services on Sunday. Now, if you prefer to stay home, please like us and press subscribe. It makes it easier for you to find us, and then you bless us as well. Thank you. And now for our announcements. Today at noon, Armand and Angelina are giving a Healing Angel Harp session. Okay, it's $20 suggested love offering, but remember, and they're not kidding, no offer is turned away. These are, I have to say, these are one of the most generous guests we've ever had. Oh, on Father's Day, we have a guest speaker, Terrence Young, and he's doing The Power of a Father. And I happen to say, I met him personally at a drumming session, and he's a lot of fun. Important, the same day as Father's Day, there is a town hall meeting. It's going to also be at noon in the sanctuary here. Now, this agenda includes all the financial reports from the Board of Trustees that some of our members have requested. Whether you're a member or not, you can still come to this meeting, and there will be no voting or anything like that, but it's very informational if you want to know about where we are financially. On June 26th, Dieter Randolph is here. And these are dismayed with the religion we were born into, and we come here instead. But he questions. He's worth the wait. Know that, again, your shop and support card make a difference. This is from the neighborhood itself, and again, you get a reusable discount card that you buy, and it helps our community. We also have hygiene items that are needed. We have a list, and if you just buy from that list when you go do your food shopping, and then bring in a bag and put it at the when you first come in the lobby, and we'll collect it and distribute it. Oh, we still need some volunteers, and we have a new area for the sign-up sheet. So it's going to be at the white table where the Namaste Cafe used to be. So if you would like to volunteer, please sign up there. And there is also where you can find the paperwork for requesting a name tag. We would like at this moment to welcome any new visitors today. Please raise your hand if you're here for the very first time. We'd like to give you a gift. Welcome. And if you choose, there's a yellow card in front where you're sitting. And if you fill this out, someone from Unity will give you a personal phone call to see what you like and what your ideas are. We want you to be part of our family.
Sure.
We got one more up front.
Okay, again, we are so pleased to have you with us today. Oh, before we do that, we realized last week we forgot to do birthdays. So we're doing belated birthdays. So if you have a June birthday, would you please stand? And again, you're getting nice singers to sing to you this time. So it's worth the wait. All right, good to see you guys.
All right, let's do the rock and roll version of Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you are wonderful. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's time, enough of my talking, and here we go. Let's welcome again Armand and Angelina.
Wow. Well, you mentioned, Joanne, about our generosity, but I got to tell you something about this center. We play a different center every Sunday, and this is one of the most generous centers we've ever been to. The outreach that is happening here at Unity of Port Richey with this basket for the food and the hygiene stuff and all the things y'all are doing, that is not that typical. Okay, usually it's all about, personal growth and personal work and beautiful spiritual work and reaching out to other people in that way, which is fabulous. But this extra human, physical touch that y'all are doing with these outreach programs, that's extra special. We find a lot of that in the Unitarian Universalist movement, and it's nice that y'all are bringing that into here as well. The other thing is yes, you folks out there in Cyberland, we are so glad you're here with us, and you will get a much higher dose of the second vitamin C, which is called Vitamin Connect. You'll get a bigger dose of Vitamin Connect by showing up here with us on Sunday, because if you could hang around the people we're hanging out with today, you wouldn't want to leave. Okay, good. All right, so now let me make sure I have this right. The meditation is after the message, is that correct? Okay, because this is just a little different than we're used to doing it. So good. So let's do a joy song. And the joy song sums up the Course in Miracles and unity in 4 simple words. Love is a boomerang. If you think about it, that sums up everything. We almost did it last night. Angelina goes, we're doing that tomorrow morning, dummy. She is exactly right. After you've been married this long, you can feel between the lines. Okay, all right, let's do it, honey. Love is a boomerang. Everybody sing with me. Love is a boomerang. Give it away and it comes right back. Love is a boomerang. Hear the words that set you free. Love is a boomerang. Give it away and it comes right back. Love is a boomerang. That's it.
It comes back to you, sometimes directly and sometimes not so directly. directly or may not come back, but even when you do give positivity and kindness to others, it still feels really good.
And you feel it immediately. And John Lennon had a song about that called Instant Karma. When you do good stuff, instant karma. When you are expecting it to be returned back to you, instant disappointment. That is the way you let go of your expectations, and you know that your goodness and your kindness. My sister, who was also a surrogate mother of mine growing up, used to fill me with a lot of stuff that didn't serve me. And she used to say things like, "No good deed goes unpunished." You ever heard that? That's also one of the songs from Wicked, the soundtrack. And that always bothered me. No good deed goes unpunished. And what she meant was, in hindsight, was not every good deed is returned back to you. And sometimes people actually resent you for being nice to them. Okay? That's what she meant. But the truth is, if we know in Unity Principles, no good deed is unnoticed. Because Spirit knows everything. And what we put out always comes back to us. But we have to remember it doesn't come back to us necessarily the way we would like it to. Like maybe a thank you. That may not come back. But the universe always thanks you. And that's because there's really only one of us. So if you're giving to others, you're really giving to yourself.
Right. And so if you give, you to get that feeling of joy when you're not getting something, receiving something back that you're thinking you would like, without expectations is the best way to give. Because if you have expectations, then there might be disappointment or resentment. So when you give out kindness, give positivity to someone, it's best not to have expectations.
Absolutely. By the way, I have a lot more gray hair than I did back there 10 years ago or something. Wow. So it's funny, she doesn't change. She just keeps looking the same fabulous way all the time.
I have hair color.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's all right. I love you because you're so authentic. So anyway, today, let's have a TED Talk. How many people have seen TED Talks? How many people have been inspired and moved and became a better person because of a TED Talk? Absolutely, they're wonderful. I found them many, many years ago. I guess they probably came out maybe about 20 years ago. And the one that was really powerful for me happened in March of 2021. I had been through kind of a circumstantial depression from July of 2020 through early March of 2021. Now, what I realized was, yes, it was circumstantial, but there was also something underneath it that was challenging me as well. And I saw this TED Talk, it's called Failing at Normal. Has anybody ever felt like they were failing at normal? Okay. The trick behind that is that some of us have a different challenge than other people. Okay? And what I found out by watching this video on failing at normal is that I had untreated ADHD that was magnifying the depression that I was feeling from not getting enough vitamin connect from all of you. Because all of a sudden, overnight, our career went to the dumpster. Okay? What I was living for, which I found out later, that you get a happy drug when you're hanging out with other people called dopamine. I was low dopamine naturally because of the ADHD, which I was told at 9 years old that I had this, but my parents didn't do anything about it. And basically I was just told, well, you have this situation, just deal with it. There was a situation that happened to us in childhood that's a little bit like having a leg that's shorter than the other. You can figure out a way to operate, but it's going to be harder. And all of a sudden, I watched this video, and I started to feel like my legs were the same height. Like I was putting on glasses and seeing for the first time without squinting. Okay? And so I started reading up about it and learning about it, and I won't go into the details, but there were some different techniques I could use, and also some different medicinal help that I could use to help me so I wasn't struggling as much, all because of a TED Talk. Now today is going to be a little bit different kind of TED Talk, because it's going to be a talk about a guy named Ted. And it's our favorite Ted in the whole world. I mean, I love Ted Roosevelt, but my favorite Ted in the whole world right now is a guy that I'm going to guess that 90% of you have never heard of. His name is Ted Lasso. Raise your hand if you know who Ted Lasso is. 2. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you know who he is, because we're going to be telling you about who he is during this program, because he has had a huge influence on our lives. So Angelina, right?
So, well, if you don't, you should tell them how they can watch it if they want to see it. So
Exactly.
it is on Apple TV, and it's all about this coach who just wants the best out of everyone. He's positive, he's optimistic, and he just wants everyone to know that they are beautiful and perfect just as they are.
Kind of like unity teachings. Yeah, exactly. So it's a series. It's had 2 seasons. The 3rd and final season will be coming up soon. I recommend that you don't binge it, because you want to savor it and watch maybe one a week, because it's so positive and kind. Most TV that I watch has a lot of negativity in it. Okay, this is kindness, positive, joyous, fantastic. So we're going to be talking about the gospel according to Ted.
So you'll be lassoed.
You will be lassoed by Ted.
Our new spiritual teacher.
That's the theme song, by the way. How y'all doing? I'm Ted Lasso. I'm your new coach, your spiritual coach. Boy, I love being in the Unity Church. Feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good just to come in here and feel oneness? Yes. Feels like potential. And I believe that we're all here ultimately for potential. Our potential to raise our consciousness. Our potential to become the best that we can be. Our potential to go beyond our fate. Now, fate is just where you'll end up if you don't do anything new. To our destiny. Our destiny, we learn in unity, is to become an even higher vibrational and really do what we came here to do. So we're going to be talking about lots of stuff that I'm into. My name is Ted Lasso, and I'm a football coach in Kansas City, Missouri. We got any folks out there from Missouri? Yep, so anyway, but my job, I found out that my job was to be a football coach in England. Now, in England, football is different. They use their feet. And I don't know nothing about soccer. So just imagine they fly me to England to be the coach of a premier soccer league, and I don't know nothing about it. It's very interesting. But I realized something, that coaching is not necessarily about knowing stuff. It's bringing out the very best in the people you coach. And that's what a spiritual teacher's supposed to do. And that's what an author's supposed to do. And that's what a TED Talk's supposed to do. So we're going to be coaching today the Ted Lasso way.
That's right.
So what we got going on here, honey?
Well,
I'd like to introduce you to Coach Beard. This is Coach Beard. Coach Beard is my wingman. You don't look like a man to me. Maybe she's my wing woman. Wing woman. That just don't ring right. Wing angel. This is my wing angel, Coach Beard. I like that. It's got a nice feel to it. I love angels. Yeah.
yes. Well, let's talk about angels.
Let's talk about angels. Raise your hand if you believe in angels. That's awesome. I love angels. Do you believe in angels?
I believe in.
That's
I believe in angels. Do you believe in angels? Ted?
Okay, so I do believe in angels, but if there's one thing I learned in Unity, it's more important that they believe in themselves. Don't you agree? So that raises up your vibration when you believe in yourself. Okay, good. You got that out of the way. Okay.
An example of wanting the best of people, bringing out their greatness. So thank you, Ted, for that.
That's right. Let's see. I got some notes here because sometimes I forget. Coach Beard helps me with all my notes and everything.
Well, we can talk about 2 animals.
Let's talk about a couple of animals here. Now, one of the questions, this was actually a question by my boss. Her name was Rebecca. And she's a tough cookie. You know how you help soften up a tough cookie? You dip them in milk. So So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to dip her in milk to soften her up. She's a very, very serious and heavy. Now, what I found out is the reason she hired me was to destroy the team. She said, if we get this football coach from Kansas City, Missouri, and we bring him to England, it'll destroy the team. Now, why would she want to do that? Because the team belongs to her ex-husband, and she's carrying a whole lot of animosity. And we learned that we can dip that cookie in milk, that tough cookie, and soften them up. And that's what we're all doing. We're learning to be softer with each other, more gentle, more sensitive, more loving. There's a Buddhist principle. If you have a choice between being happy or right, or kind or right, choose happy and kind. Choose happy and kind. Guess what? If you have a choice between kind and right, and you choose kindness, you'll always be right. You see that? It all works out. See, it's just Missouri wisdom we're talking about right here. Missouri wisdom. Is it? Okay, what else we got here? Oh, they're speaking of Rebecca. Rebecca has this thing where she loves to run up to people and ask them, who would you rather be, a lion or a panda? Okay, raise your hand if you'd rather be a panda. Got a few pandas. Raise your hand if you'd rather be a lion. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. Everybody's different. I tend to think of the panda being more like the right brain animal, and the lion being more of a left brain animal. Okay? And guess what? We need both sides of our brain. Now, I'm not going to talk about politics, but let's do a little politics here. We got the left and the right wing of the bald eagle. That bird's going to fly a whole lot better if they learn to work together. Okay? Now, a lot of times we think we know what's best. We think, oh, that left wing is full of it, or that right wing is full of it. Well, they each got a little of it in them. But ultimately, if we're going to fly as the great American country that we are,
We're going to soar.
and soar, I like that soar. Unlike my leg from surfing the other day. But anyway, soar, working together, learning how to compromise, okay? Again, how do we do that, especially in politics? Choose to be kind over being right. Because the other person's truth that makes no sense to you, and it usually won't, is their truth too. And we got to work together. So now, Rebecca always says, what's black and white and red all over? A panda that gets anywhere near a lion. That's rough. That's rough anyway. But again, that's because Rebecca thinks she's right. She says the only answer is a lion. What would you rather be?
Well, because I'm a Leo, I think I would go with lion. I like pandas too. They're very playful.
Okay.
But what about you, Ted?
Well, I'm Ted Lasso. Why would I want to be anything else?
He has no idea how emotionally healthy that really is.
And that's the trick. Don't try to be somebody other than who you are. You came here as a special individual that is going to be an expression of God in a way that can't be expressed. I mean, you're actually doing God a favor. You're welcome. You're doing God a favor because God wants to express in as many ways as possible. I would say at least 7.5 billion. That's a statistical word right there. Anyway, 7.5 billion ways to express God. And if you aren't you, then God doesn't get to express in that particular way. And God just wants to have it all. And so you're actually doing Spirit and your friends and everybody a favor by being the best you that you can be. Okay.
So now we're going to do something that's going to be fun for you and involve you in this. So we are going to hand out little cards to you. I think ushers are going to help us with that. And so on the card it says, thank you for being who you are and what you do. Who you are is important and what you do is appreciated. There's 5 in these little packets that we're going to hand you, and what we like to do is give these out to people who just go above and beyond, bringing joy and kindness and love to everyone around them. Or it might be someone that just needs a little encouragement that doesn't see their light, and they need a little encouragement, so you give them that card. So these are packages of 5, and what we like to do is take one and keep it for yourself, and then have fun handing out the other 4. We find people really enjoy it, and if we're at like a drive-through window, we'll give it to them, and they actually stop and read it and say, thanks, that's really what I needed to hear today.
It's a simple thing. But anytime you remind people of their magnificence, it makes them feel better. And guess what? There will be less negativity in the world. All of this pain, you probably heard this, hurt people hurt people. You see that? It's a little play on words. Hurt people hurt people. And if we can help soften people's hurt, then the world will be a kinder place. I want the world to be a kinder place. You know, there's a slogan out there that I like to use: make America kinder. Okay? Make America kinder. What was that one that guy Andrew Yang did? Math. Make America think harder. That was a cool one too. But make America kinder, make America greater. We each have a part as a patriot to do our best to bring our country together. Okay? And one of the ways we can bring it together is by opening up our heart and trying to talk with people that make absolutely no sense to us. And that's just normal. That's part of the left. The left brain doesn't understand the right brain. The right brain doesn't understand the left brain. But we work better when they work together. It's kind of like a little dance going on there. We're rocking the left brain. Do that. You don't have to dance with people you don't agree with, but that's all right. It'll work out. Okay. All right. Everybody got their tags. Good, good, good.
All right. So, Ted, it sounds like a lot of things that you talk about and do are very similar to Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements.
Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements. How many people have read that? That's all good stuff. That's all good stuff. Yeah, before we go into 4 Agreements, let me tell you one of the things that I pride myself on doing. I pride myself on reminding everybody I see how wonderful they are. And one of the ways I do is when they start to put themselves down, I let them know that that's no way to treat yourself. Now, what I have with my wife, this is my Coach Beard, that's not my wife, but what I have with my wife is that we make a deal that when we hear the other person putting themselves down, we say, would you treat a 5-year-old child the way you're talking about yourself right now? Oh God, no, I never say that. Well, then don't do it to yourself, because guess what? There's a 5-year-old child in all of you. We are all children of God. You know how I know? Tell me one spiritual text said that you're an adult of God. You ain't heard it, because it ain't real. You're a child of God, and that's a true story. Okay. So, now, one thing else what I like to do is, hold on a second, somebody's calling me right now. Ring, ring, a ring, ring, a ring, ring. Hello, it's Ted Lasso. Hi, I'm your new coach. So what's going on? No, really? Now, why are you taking blame for all that? Why do you think that's all your fault? You're just putting yourself down right now. I'm sure you did the best you could. That's one of the 4 agreements. Always do the best you could. And guess what? You can't help it. You've always done the best you could, given your current circumstance and given your current consciousness. Well, yeah, everybody else has done the best they could. But why won't you accept that? You're putting yourself down again. I'm going to treat that like Yoko Ono on a Beatles album. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, I think I just hope them or not sometimes. So I'm a little much for some kind of people. Some people, yeah, they say I overshare. Yeah, I got that on Facebook recently. I overshare. But that's what happens. I have a lot to say. Okay, so what do we got now? We got 4 agreements.
Right.
Okay, always be impeccable with your word.
Right. So, we in general might say something that we don't really mean, but we say it because we think that's what the other person wants to hear. So we have learned a technique.
That's right. We have a special word. Coach Beard and I have a special word. The word is Oklahoma. Now, don't try to figure out what that means, because it doesn't mean anything. It's just a word we use when we are curious if the other person is telling us the exact truth. Okay? The exact truth. So, how do we start this?
Well, how would you like to make dinner tonight? We're going to watch a game, and I think it'd be fun if you'd make us some dinner.
I think I can do that, but I got another idea. Okay. My wife and I are going to be binging on romantic comedies. How'd you like to come and do that? That sounds funny?
Sure, absolutely.
Oklahoma?
Absolutely not.
See, sometimes we just say yes, and it doesn't mean yes. Any Brene Brown fans? By the way, just so you know, I want to tell you something about Armand and Angelina while they're not here. Armand and Angelina are watching my show, Ted Lasso, because of Brene Brown. She talked about it with somebody named Esther Perel in one of their podcasts and talked about how influenced they are by my show. So I'm a pretty big deal. Big deal. Anyway, so Brene Brown always says, a person that has a clear no, you can trust their yeses. You see that? When you've got good, clear boundaries and you tell the truth, then when you tell somebody something yes, they trust you. Because when you don't want to do something, like Coach Beard does not like romantic comedies. My wife and I, we've seen Beaches 8 times, and Love Actually 11. But Coach Beard isn't into Coach Beard's into all kind of scientific stuff, and that's fine, that's fine. So when Coach Beard said I'd love to watch romantic comedy, I kind of knew that Coach Beard wouldn't tell me the whole truth. So I just say, oh, but now if you got a partner, you can come up with your own word, but it's a great
You
word.
have to say
Yeah, sometimes my wife says, would you like to do the dishes after dinner by yourself? I say, sure, honey. Oklahoma, not really. I'd rather be on Facebook. See, it's a great way to find out. So that's being impeccable with your word. We already know you're doing your best. Be impeccable with your words. What we got going.
well, don't take things personally. That's really easy to do, right?
It is very, how many people have taken things personally? Yeah, how's that feel? That guy, Dr. Phil, he'd say, how's that working for you? Yeah, don't take things personally, okay? You don't need to take things personally. It's usually not about you, okay? It's usually not about you.
Maybe think about a goldfish.
Yeah. Do you know what the smartest animal, the happiest animal on earth is? A goldfish. You know why? Goldfish has the shortest memory. Most of the reason we're not happy is because we're remembering stuff that we did that we're still beating ourselves up about. Anybody ever beat themselves up?
Like Armand and Angelina going on America's Got Talent.
Well, they're still beating
They're still
themselves
beating
up for going
themselves
for
up
their
on
beat
that.
talent. That's it. Be a goldfish. Be a goldfish. Have a short memory. Okay? Here's another one. Let's say somebody did something to you that hurt your feelings. Now, we're not saying forget it completely because you don't want to open yourself up to get hurt again. But forget the resentment you got about it. Forget the anger you got about it. Be a goldfish. Be a goldfish and just go back to being happy. Now, remember a little bit in your core so you learn how to protect yourself. That's one thing. But another thing about yourself, if you're going to feel bad about something you did when you did your best, that just don't make no sense. You can't beat yourself up when you did the best you could at the time, but guess what? You'll learn from it, and you'll do better next time. So that's a wonderful way not to take things personally. Like the other day, somebody said something real nasty about me. Coach Beard goes, that guy's got a problem with you. What's that all about? I said, that's the inside joke. Mostly inside of him. So if somebody got something nasty to say, it's an inside joke. Mostly inside of them. That's pretty okay. Angelina, you know, one of the things, I'm sorry, this is Coach Beard, but when Armand told me about Angelina, he said one of the reasons he fell in love with her is because she was getting divorced when they met. But it wasn't the divorce that was the real clincher. It was the way she treated her husband. See, he watched the way he treated her and he thought, that's going to be me someday probably. Because I don't do too good in a relationship long term. We're going to be broken up. That was 21 years ago. We're probably going to be broken up. I like the way she treated him. I like the kindness she had with her husband. Now, hopefully that'll never happen again. Anyway, but yeah, how you treat people, okay? Letting go of your resentment. Letting that go. Be a goldfish, okay? Don't make assumptions. That's another one.
Right?
Don't make assumptions. I've had a lot of people make assumptions about me just because of my accent. They think that I can't do something or I don't know something, you know? I don't know who said it. Somebody like Einstein said, be curious, not judgmental. Okay, be curious. Somebody's doing something that you think is a little bit weird, ask them about it. Okay? Ask them about it. Why? Why? Don't automatically assume that there's something wrong with them or they've got the wrong idea. Be curious, not judgmental. And you'll open up hearts to people.
Connection.
Okay?
Connection.
More connection. I play tennis in Orlando, and I play with a strict Christian group called the Northwood Christian Church. And they just are wonderful to me and they love me. But every once in a while, they start asking me a bunch of spiritual questions. And I'm in a little different alignment with them. So recently the lady said, well, do you believe Jesus died for your sins? And I said, look, we're going to differ a little bit about some of these details, but I believe Jesus died for your sins. She goes, why would you say that? I said, because that's your belief system, and that's your truth. So that is true for you. It's not true for me, but it is true for you, and I honor that truth for you. They don't talk to me a whole lot after I say that, which is a good benefit for everybody, you know. Do you believe Jesus is the only Lord and Savior? I believe Jesus is the only Lord and Savior for you. Now, if they go a little further and they get curious, because they go in usually with those questions to be judgmental, but then they get curious. Well, how do you view Jesus? How does the Unity Movement view Jesus? I said, well, the Unity Movement views Jesus as the way shower, the most unbelievable example of living Christ principles in the human form. And we look at him as somebody we want to emulate. So that's somebody being curious instead of being judgmental. Did we cover all the 4 agreements? We got close to them anyway. Okay, so look at the time. G. Golly Willikers is getting time to finish up here. I think we're good. I think we're good. One last thing I'm going to talk about: positivity versus toxic positivity. Anybody ever heard that phrase, toxic positivity? Now, originally, toxic positivity was called spiritual malpractice. So y'all know that one. Spiritual malpractice is like, so here's positivity. Somebody comes up, they're having a tough time, they're struggling, and we say, Coach Beard, you got this. You got this. You've been through some tough things in your life, and you've always pulled up. How's that feel? How's Coach Beard feel about that when I say that? Feels better. Oh, you're here for me. Let's just talk about it. You need to cry. Angelina, last night we were at their concert. Angelina talked a lot about allowing yourself to grieve and cry and heal through your stuff, and it's beautiful. Coach Beard likes that I'm here listening, but also likes that I'm supporting. Coach Beard, you got it. Okay, so here's some spiritual malpractice. Coach Beard, you're having a tough time, right? Yeah. Why did you create this? Remember when everybody got in the law of attraction, started using it to hurt people? That's spiritual malpractice, also known as a metaphysical. But now they're calling it toxic positivity. And it's really not toxic positivity. It's imitation positivity designed to control people. Okay? Designed to control people. You'll see some of these things. You should be happy all the time. If you're having struggles being happy all the time, and you see something that makes you feel worse.
What about the sign that we had in our van?
So we had a sign in our van. Actually, Armand and Angelina had a sign in their van. Armand and Angelina had a sign in their van on their glove box for many, many years. It said, life is too short to be anything but happy. Now that kind of feels good. That kind of makes sense. But you know what? I don't know anybody like that. And I certainly don't know myself. So we started studying toxic positivity. We changed it. Life is too short to be anything but authentic. Because you can be authentically unhappy in the moment. And if you're authentically unhappy with another person that accepts you for your authentic unhappiness, you can get happy. It's kind of a play on words, metaphor, baby. Okay, all right, so let's move into our meditation time here. Thank you for listening to me talk. I'm going to turn it back over to Armand and Angelina. We'll be right back. So we hope you will give Ted Lasso a try. We don't have any investment in it. I know that Apple TV does give you a 1 week free trial, and then it goes to $4.99 a month. But during the 1 week free trial, they will give you the pilot of a lot of different shows, including Ted Lasso. Hoping that you'll get hooked like we did. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into our meditation time with a very simple chant. Peace I am. Peace in every moment. Peace in every moment. Peace I am. That's all the words. And I'm going to tell you, I love all these visuals. This is very pro. Having all these beautiful, magical visuals. So can we get it started? Butterfly. Represent metaphor. Oh, still talking to Ted Lasso accent. Butterfly, metamorphosis. We're going to metaphor. We're going to then more kindness would fill every cell of our body with happiness, knowing that we are one with all of life. In the big, big picture, there is only one of us. As we learn greater ways to be kind to ourselves, we share that self-love with everyone around us. Lifting up ourselves and each other. Lovingly walking each other home. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey. The music of the angel harp and the Native American flute. Vibrating into your soul. Very gently now, begin to bring your attention to your physical body. Your seat, this sacred sanctuary where we have come for connection. To learn, grow, and share with each other the good news. We are one with all of life. We are divine beings and children of God. Thank you, Great Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Angelina will now lead us in singing the Lord's Prayer. and I will speak the Aramaic. Abun de Washmai. Yinkadashmach. Vite Kaputa. Yehuan de Saminach. I cannot. The Washmaya. O Baha. Amalachma. Vesukna Yamana. Washbukwan Halvin. I cannot Dafnan. Shwaken El Hayamin. Ulatelan. Benisiona. Ela Pasan. Minisha. Mitamilaki Maputa. Uhala Tishmofta. La Olam Almin. Amen. And we invite you to breathe these words in because these words were given to us by our great way shower, reminding us that we were meant to experience heaven on earth right here, right now. And so it is. Amen.
The Aramaic is so strong. I go back to Jesus talking and saying this to the disciples. It's just wonderful. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
And again, let's give a round of applause. Now, before we prepare for our offertory, something else I want to tell you about Armand and Angelina. They want everyone to have their music. So they offer their CDs on a suggested exchange basis. Please take what you desire, give from your hearts, and feel free to tithe in the future, even if you don't have anything now. So again, please see they have an enormous list. They've been around. We know you for 20 years. Okay? So please look to see what they have to offer. They're extremely generous. So now let us prepare for our offering as we remember the abundance that flows in our lives. Now, whenever we see that we have enough, we will also see more and more abundance. We are so grateful for all your generous support. Ushers, please come forward as we say the Unity Offertory Blessing. Please, together. In deep gratitude, I give way to the limitless flow of prospering substance. I am blessed with all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. And the blessings are multiplied. Thank you, God.
We gratefully bless these beautiful offerings, these tithes, these gifts, and know that this is coming back to the giver, multiplied, and that it is going to do good work for the world. And so it is. Amen. It's almost like love is a boomerang.
All right. Good one. We thank you for being with us today. We trust that you have been uplifted and inspired. We thank all those who have put together this service, Gail, Jeremiah, Linda, and the ushers, and especially our wonderful guests, Armand and Angelina. Now let us stand for the peace song.
So we're going to sing the peace song, and then we're going to sing the prayer of protection. How do you like that? Because when you speak, you pray once, but when you sing, you pray twice. I feel good. And 1, 2, 3, 4. The light of God